There are 339 books in the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge, and I'm going to read all of them, and I mean every single last one of them. The Reading Challenge includes all of the books that Rory Gilmore read or talked about during the run of the highly popular mid-2000s TV series Gilmore Girls. Now, to put an additional spin on the challenge, I'm going to read the books in random order, so stay until the end of the video where we spin the wheel to find out what our next book in the challenge is going to be. Hi guys, we are back today with book 17 of the challenge, which is our very first Mark Twain of the challenge. I believe there are quite a few Mark Twain books in this challenge, as he is, I believe, one of Rory Gilmore's favorite writers. There should be quite a few of his titles in there. The title today, however, is a short story, and as far as I understand, it's the very first of Mark Twain's work that got him some recognition and quite a lot of mainstream recognition as far as I understand it. So today we have a short story that is called, the name is quite a mouthful, so I'm gonna read this off here. So it's the Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, which was published first in 1865. So again, a very old book here, a classic that we have here. And there are multiple versions of this story, or book at least. I believe there's a collection of short stories by Mark Twain that also includes this story both in the book and in the title. For this review and for this challenge, I have only read the short story about the jumping frog. I have not looked at any of his other works so far. So that's what we are going to talk about today. And yeah, as always, you guys, if you know where or when Rory Gilmore talked about the jumping frog, the Mark Twain's jumping frog story in the run of the series Gilmore Girls, please drop a comment below and let us know where we can find that. Yeah, let's get right into the book. So in this book, what is it basically about? The jumping frog is about basically the narrator that is talking to an old bartender, to this, I think John Wheeler is his name. And this John Wheeler is telling him a story about a certain guy named John Smiley, or Jim Smiley, I think. It's a very short story, and the names didn't really stick to me, and honestly, a lot of the plot didn't stick to me a lot. It felt very forgetful, but that's what I remember basically. So it's a short story about this Jim Smiley. He is basically addicted to gambling, as much addicted to gambling as you can possibly be. So it's a very serious case of addiction, I would say. And he has this ridiculous idea to kind of find a frog. So he finds this frog, he calls him person's name, even a surname he gives him, but I don't really remember that either. But anyway, he gets this frog and he trains him up to be able to jump as high as possible. And he is training him for weeks, and he's making sure that he is jumping as high as no other frog can. And then he is, going out to find people and kind of want to bet with them. Hey, I bet you my frog can jump higher than any other frog that you can find, and so on and so on and so on. And that's basically already half of the plot right there. So I'm not gonna spoil the ending at all. There is a little bit of a twist to it, but to me it felt very much like one of these Brother Grimm fairy tales that I know from growing up. So of course, me growing up in Europe, in Switzerland, we had a lot of these Brother Grimm fairy tales here, probably more than Mark Twain stories. And it kind of felt a little bit, both the writing style and the sense of the story felt very much like one of these Brother Grimm stories. So I'm not sure what this is about. I also don't know about the timeline of Brother Grimm and Mark Twain. I have no idea about that. If one or the other was an influence to the other's writing, I have no idea. But that's how it felt to me. Maybe silly, but that's just what it felt to me. And the one thing that I did like about the Jumping Frog was the way that it was written. It was very witty, it was humorous, the type of writing that Mark Twain used. So at the very least, it made me look forward to his other works, Mark Twain's other works, and I'm not quite sure if I ever read a full Mark Twain book. I believe I read at the least part of my Uncle Tom's Cabin, or what it's called in English literature class, but I'm not sure if I, number one, finished it, and I'm not sure if I read any of his other works. But I'm sure we will get into that once we get to these books in the challenge. I'm pretty sure there should be 2 or 3 more Mark Twain books in here, but overall, that's all that this short story did for me. It in itself was not very exciting to me. I do wonder a little bit, like, how did he get so much attention for this short story? Why was this such a big deal at the time? So if you do know more about the background of this short story and a little bit more about Mark Twain, very happy to be taught and to have some insight on it. So please let me know in the comments below if there's something you wish to let me know about either the book, the story, or Mark Twain himself. Other than that, you know, guys, I'm very quite strict with my ratings. So for me, this didn't do a lot for me. It was just a short story. I didn't find the twist, I didn't find the ending very witty at all. Even though the writing style, I did enjoy that, but the plot itself, it was not something that I would pick up if it wasn't in this challenge, and I wouldn't reread it again for any reason, basically. So from me, that's clear. I'm sorry, 1 out of 5 stars for the, what is the name again? For the Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County by Mark Twain. Yeah, you guys know what is left to do now. Please, if you want this series to continue on, we have more than 300 books left. Drop a like, share this video, and, you know, let me know your comments and your thoughts on this book, on Mark Twain, and on the challenge itself. I'm very happy for any feedback. But yeah, what's left to do now is to choose the book that we are going to read for the next week. So stay on for us to spin the wheel and see what book we are getting in the challenge as the next one. Okay, guys, so as always, I have my wheel here with the remaining books. So we have 322 books remaining. Let's spin the wheel and see what we get as the next one. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Something nice to read over New Year's would be great. Let's see what we get. Let's see. Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence. I've never heard of that. That author rings a bell. Probably somebody that I should be knowing. But yeah, we'll see. It sounds like a novel to me. Sounds like something I could be liking. So yeah. Yeah, I see you in the next video with Lady Chatterley's Lover. Alright, see you then, guys. Bye-bye.